work with you. They want you to use your storytelling knowledge to do makeovers on their presentations." We talked it through. By the end, I understood her idea, and it sounded cool. A chance to implement the teachings of my books and workshops on the need to tell better stories. Great! I set to work writing an email to the four of us, laying out my initial ideas. I would reshape the scientists' material into a set of stories they and I would tell, taking turns presenting different parts. It seemed perfect, until the scientists replied. There was immediate pushback. One of them said that his presentation was already set. He had been giving it for over a year. Everyone loves it. Basically, it's not broken. No need to fix it. Thanks. The other was in Europe and said he didn't have the time for changes. I pushed a little harder, explaining my ideas further, including how the team presentation style would add energy to the normally dull panel format. They didn't seem to like my labeling things as normally dull. And did I mention they were ages 68 and 70? "We just don't need it," one of them wrote. But of course I ignored that. I was still sold on Megan's enthusiasm, so I did what I always do. I kept pushing. Finally, the truth started coming out. "Look," one of them replied, "both of us are known as good speakers. We're very busy. We'll show up and give our standard talks. It will be fine." I shot back, "I know, but what I want is more than fine. With the power of narrative, we can reach a higher level and give the crowd an event to remember." "I just don't see how it's going to work," his next email said. "You're talking about us taking repeated turns speaking. We'll be getting up and sitting down, bumping into each other. It sounds like a mess." I replied, "No, trust me. The audience will appreciate the energy of the team effort. It shows we're listening to each other." And then, well, there were a couple more exchanges, until one of them finally said, "Randy, all of us have given countless numbers of these talks. We all know how they work. We all have the same amount of experience. There's just no need for what you're describing." And that was it. A moment of realization for me. Presentations given by scientists, administrators, students, pretty much anyone, are very, very personal. They are an extension of the speaker's inner being, an expression of the ego. In this age of TED Talks, everyone is working on their presentations, running them by their friends and family, honing and shaping them. My asking to get in and mess with others' presentations is like asking to come over and reorganize their underwear drawers. It really is that personal. I could sense I had hit the limit. An eruption was approaching, which meant it was time to end it by showing how hopeless the predicament was. I did this by tossing a hand grenade into the discussion so there would be no lingering doubts. Drawing on my most condescending tone, I replied, "Ahem. Only one of us has over 2 decades of mass communications experience." I hit send and waited less than 2 minutes for the nuclear missile I knew would come back, which it did, in the form of a short email that began, "Well, Randy, aren't we special? I suggest you check yourself before this entire event unravels." There was more to it that was even worse. I sat there looking at my computer screen thinking, whoa, and figured that was enough. I didn't reply. Instead, I was breathing deeply as I headed out the door for a cooling-off jog. I thought about what I was trying to do. These 2 guys were the sources of knowledge. They were the ones who actually knew something truthful about the real world. I was this horrible agent of conformity wanting to reshape their words and information, to transform the real world into the narrative world. This same shaping process happened with the iconic quote from the Apollo 13 mission to the moon. The original words spoken by astronaut Jack Swigert in 1970 when an oxygen tank exploded on board were,